Welcome everyone to this Privacy Rules Privacy Espresso. With me today, Luca Egitto from the law firm RP Legal and Tax, exclusive member of the Privacy Rules Alliance for the Italian jurisdiction. We are with Luca today to further discuss the suspension of the ChatGPT activities made by the Italian authority, the Garante. The tool is now available again, and we would like to delve a bit more into the reasons why this is now possible. So, Luca, let's start with a brief overview on which are the key points that were raised by the authority and measures already taken by the company.
Thanks, Privacy Rules, and to you, Alessandro, and for everyone who's connecting. So the Italian Supervisory Authority issued a resolution that suspended processing for OpenAI's ChatGPT. This technically was not a block, but OpenAI had no options other than suspending and freezing operations in Italy because there was no other way to comply. The issues that were raised by the supervisory authority were mainly four. First one, lack of information under Article 13 and 14, both for those who gave their data as users, and especially for those who were not users, but were the data subjects involved by the training of the AI. And also the supervisory authority disputed the idea that processing was based on a contract and stated that the legitimate interest and consent was a more realistic legal basis for those type of processing activities that were being carried out. Also, that the supervisory authority disputed that those data subjects that were involved without knowing in the training of the machine learning system were not informed, that they had no chance to understand what happened with their data. And also there was, and this is the third issue, a case for inaccurate data being processed and also being distributed to the public. So not only were this data inaccurate, but they could spread over and over, basically destroying potentially reputations and civil liberties. And the fourth issue was a lack of age verification, which was the same issue disputed with TikTok. So the supervisory authority gave until the 30th of April. And it was the SA that basically announced that OpenAI complied with them. So I think that the supervisory authority proved to be very focused on the actual issues, but wanted to promote innovation and to release as soon as they could OpenAI. And what happened is that OpenAI made a number of changes which can be perceived while using the service or consulting their website. So, for example, they have improved their data privacy notice, which now looks much more under GDPR. OpenAI stated that rectification is not viable for them. So they basically say, we are strengthening the channels for data subjects, but if somebody is unhappy on the accuracy of their data, we will remove this data. We will not change or amend because we can't. And I think it makes sense because we're talking about information that their system drags from the internet. They cannot change it. They just can stop using it. And also there was a novelty in that you can submit a notice of opposition to OpenAI, asking them to refrain from using your data for training purposes, which is to some extent similar to what in Italy we're accustomed to regarding marketing calls. So if you explicitly state, I don't want to be contacted by call centers, in theory, you officially are exempted and so freed from that. We know it's just not true, but considering that OpenAI is a single entity, it is very good that you can notify OpenAI, I don't want to be involved in the machine learning process. They've also introduced some formal declaration regarding age, which is a way to meet the requirements set forth by the supervisory authority. And they promised to launch a campaign to inform people on how personal data are used to train machine learning systems. And indeed, if you go through the data privacy notice, you say, okay, better than before, but maybe there's some bits are still missing, and I expect that these bits will be part of the information to be published with this communication campaign regarding what I think is the most critical aspect. So using people's information without them knowing to train the AI. So this is the most critical aspect in my view.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for this overview. What you were just saying is raising me another question, that is, what's still missing and what do you foresee in the future?
At this stage, we can't say whether OpenAI will accomplish their task to fully inform people about how they train ChatGPT with personal data. We still don't know. Maybe they will do a perfect job. People, as much as they do with Google or YouTube, can, look at a video and maybe understand more and have a chance to ask for more information, more specific. We don't know. Could happen. My fear, my concern is that OpenAI will make ChatGPT a black box because it's about to become one of the most valuable technologies ever. And I don't think that they will, reveal the core of their technology just to comply with supervisory authority. The issues at stake are too big. And I think in the end, their box will remain black and so quite impossible to understand in full. What we can expect is that they conduct a decent communication campaign. They make themselves available to respond to informations, but they won't disclose the whole box. It's too big from an economic standpoint at the moment. So unless we shift to a fully open source system where people can audit the source code and understand how the algorithm works, we will never understand in full how this system works. This means that a full information on how our data are processed is not viable. So they can also state, okay, if you're unhappy, just tell us that you don't want to be processed. We won't process your data. We cancel the data if we have your data, if you want, but that's it. They're not going to explain every single detail because they started as OpenAI, but now it's much more valuable to be closed. I don't think they will have more input from Italy. They might have input from Canada, Australia, the US, UK. So some stuff will come up again, but I think for Italy at the moment, we're done.
Okay, perfect. And thank you also for your perspective on this. I just have a question that I received many times in the past, which is the relation also between OpenAI and this capability to really control this kind of technology. Do you think that their incapacity to provide full information is related to interest of the company, or also the fact that these kind of technologies, and this is a broader question to other types of technologies, are not really totally controlled?
Yeah, I see your point. So I'm not arguing they're in bad faith. I'm just saying that to some extent, if they don't do something they're expected, it's simply because they can't. Look at the fact that they say, I'm not rectifying your data. I can't. So this could apply to a number of other issues. I think that they can filter out personal data. What they might do is using synthetic data to train the system without using personal data. But I think that we still don't know enough about their language model to say they are hiding information or they don't know where this information is. So I appreciate that they made a very good effort in just 30 days to comply. There's also an educational issue here. If we consider ChatGPT a conversational AI, we should consider it as a counterpart in real life. Would you reveal all your personal data to an assistant? You should. Yeah. Right. You can use ChatGPT for so many tasks that have a very valuable support in your daily work routine, and you don't need to reveal your personal data. So people should be also educated not to, consider ChatGPT as their parent, but as a PA, because the whole thing came up because people started using ChatGPT for stupid tasks. This also explains why OpenAI decided to shift into a freemium model, not to give an incentive to use for nothing ChatGPT, but for specific purposes, which is the future, very vertical AI.
Perfect, Luca. Thanks a lot, and a lot of interesting points to be eventually focused in the future. I heard about synthetic data too. Of course, the educational part of artificial intelligence and its usage is key. So thanks also for helping us in doing this today. We end up of our time, so thanks to our audience for following us, and looking forward to meet you all with our next Privacy Espresso.
Thanks.
So bye, Luca.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everyone.